Here, check this out. This is the microphone option. Hello. Hey. Testing. What's going on, you guys? In today's video, we are going to be installing the Govee RGB Underglow kit in my 2020 Subaru WRX STI. We decided to go with the RGB Underglow kit from Govee specifically because Govee has really established themselves in the industry as a main player in the RGB space. All of my smart home RGB lighting is through Govee. I love that because it all ties into one app, and that app is kind of like a control center for managing all of the different patterns and effects that I have going through my lights. I love having all of that in one place, one hub, without having to have a bunch of different apps for a bunch of different lights or rooms or setups. So Govee really has established themselves as a main player in the space. Their product is really cost effective. This RGB Underglow kit, it's only $50 on Amazon right now, and it's actually available with a $10 coupon. So this whole kit was $40. I was actually about to pull the trigger on a much more expensive kit that I found online that's not on Amazon, but it's more of a vehicle specific application. But that kit was going to be $200, and I was just thinking, like, that cannot be 5 times better than this Govee kit. So we're gonna go on ahead and just roll the dice on this Govee kit. I've had great luck with the other Govee products that I've purchased, and for $40, I feel like you really can't go wrong. If you guys wanna go on ahead and buy this kit, I'm gonna go on ahead and put an affiliate link in the description, so you can go on ahead and just link directly to that on Amazon to help support the channel. But guys, this Govee kit, again, like I said, it is a universal application. So when you get the kit, it's basically going to come with a few different things. One, it's going to come with this actually kind of good quality keychain. It's got a sliding trapdoor cover so you don't press the buttons on accident. These buttons have nice tactile feedback. They allow you to control the power, the brightness, and then different light modes that you program into the lights. You program them into the lights using the Govee Home app. There's of course mounting brackets that will help keep these mounted on your side skirts, front bumper, rear bumper, the mounting hardware with the screws, some zip ties for safekeeping, and then you've got the control box here, and coming out of the control box is your power and ground wire. Now, I don't love this because Govee actually recommends that you just tap these directly into your battery, positive and negative terminals. We're not going to do that today. We are actually going to get an Adafuse and run these into an Adafuse. It's going to be a much cleaner installation. If the fuse pops, of course, it's easy enough to change the fuse and a lot easier to troubleshoot if you start having battery or alternator issues. So we're not going to tap these into the battery like Govee recommends. We're going to actually tap them in using an Adafuse. Now, I will say that to test these out, we don't want to run these, get everything set up and then find out one of these lights isn't working. So we are going to test them before we do the installation. And just for the test, we are going to tap these into the positive and negative battery terminals. But as long as all of these lights look good and none of the LEDs are out or DOA, we're going to go on ahead and remove it from the battery, tap it into an Adafuse, and then run all of the wiring that way. I will say that my only hesitation with this kit, 2 hesitations actually. One, everything is hardwired. So if you look at the control box, that's hardwired. If you look at each of the individual lights, they're all hardwired and they are running in line, right? So they come off of the box and then they split. You've got one for the driver's side, one for the passenger side, and they are all hardwired in line. And so if for any reason one of these lights fails, the LEDs fail, whatever happens, there is no just unplugging that LED and plugging a new one in. And that concerns me a little bit because these are going to be under my car. I don't drive my car a ton, but it does get exposed to the elements. And with that, if there is any kind of reliability issues with these lights, yes, I only paid $40 to $50, but I don't want to go back through that whole installation process again just because one light fails. But unfortunately, because of this design and the way that these are actually set up, that is basically what would happen. You can't unplug these, they are hardwired. So if you have any issues, you got to replace the whole system. What I am going to do to kind of get ahead of that and proactively prevent that from happening is I'm actually going to take some electrical tape and try to seal off these ends a little bit better. If you look real closer, let's see if we can get the camera to focus. You can see that there's a little bit of a gap there. That's not the best seal. Basically what I'm going to do is just wrap those in electrical tape, try to prevent any kind of condensation from getting in here in the future, make these a little bit more future-proof, a little bit more foolproof, and then we'll go on ahead and do the installation. Guys, if you like the video, Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this in the future. Thanks so much for stopping by. Let's go on ahead and jump right in with the installation. You can see the red cables going to the positive terminal, black cables going to the negative terminal. This is just for testing purposes. That will not be the final application. Looks like all of the lights, we're testing them out right now. They look good. I am going to just go on ahead and turn off the lights in my garage and see what this will look like in the dark. Don't mind the mess in the background there. And yeah, those are lighting up pretty good. I am so stoked. And there are different brightness settings, so we don't know, you know, they're cycling through the different settings right now. Yeah, we're gonna go on ahead and disconnect these now and start hooking things up with the add-a-fuse and kind of getting the wires ran and see how we wanna go on ahead and get these installed. All right, so real quick, we've got the fuse box right here for the WRX or the STI. I think it should be about the same, but you can see this green piece of cable. And I ran that green piece of cable. This is just Ryobi trimmer cable for my lawn care like trimmer. And I ran that top down into the fender there. And as long as you run it where those big kind of bundles of electrical cable are for the wiring harness, run it down in that general direction. You can then go underneath here. I just loosened this piece of undercarriage protection. And then I was able to reach up in there with my hands, and it's going to be really difficult to get a camera angle, but I was able to reach up in there with my hands and pull that trimmer cable down. Once I was able to pull that trimmer cable down through, I just joined it together with the power cable for the box, and now I can pull that up to the fuse box from down below. And then what I'm going to do with this is you can see it's already got the 3M double-sided tape. I'm going to take that and actually mount it right inside my fender well here, kind of near the reservoir there. So I'm going to mount it right over there. That's really clean. You can see it's clean. This is a 2-year-old car. I didn't have to clean that. I will clean it. I'll hit it with some alcohol just to make sure it bonds really well. But it's a clean, dry area. It's a good place to mount the control box. It's also a central area so that you can run the lights and cables fore and aft to the other parts of the car. Okay, let's talk briefly about how we routed these wires. Hopefully we can save you guys some time when it comes to your installation. So we can see the power cable right there, yet not hooked up. I've got it snaking up through behind the fuse box here. And then when we come down here, you'll see that we have basically the control box. Let me get the light in there. Control box is right there. It's not mounted yet, but I'm going to mount it inside here. On basically the inside of my front bumper. It's a really clean, dry area. And then we've got the wires kind of that Y off here. So the wires just form a Y. And we've got 2 LED strips going to the left and 2 LED strips going to the right. My hands are freaking filthy right now because I've been dealing with pop clips and all of that good stuff. But all right, so first LED strip is going to go on the front here. And it's going to go right across the front like that. I need to pull a little bit of slack through, but I have it fortunately to pull through. And let's go on ahead and just trace that through. So we brought it around here, and then we went up inside the fender well with it, okay? You can see that that wire goes up into the fender well. We went up and around the fender. Because these Govee LED strips are meant to be waterproof, they have some substance to them, and it actually snaked through up around the fender liner rather easily. If we come around here, you're not gonna be able to see it, it's behind the fender liner, but I snaked it up and around the fender liner. I had to take off a couple of pop clips on this side just so I could get in behind and pull everything through. Let me see if I can hold this with one hand. There we go. So we pulled that through like that. You can see the cable right there. And now this cable is, or this wire, I should say, is actually going to go underneath my side skirt behind this pop clip so it won't come out. And it's snaked in here like this. And I actually have it coming out right through that hole there. And that's a pretty big hole where a pop clip is going to go. And so the wire is just going to be tucked off to the corner like this, and the pop clip will be securing the side skirt to the frame. And so that is the passenger side done. So that one terminates right on the side skirt. And then on the driver's side, it's basically the inverse. So the driver's side is going to start with the side skirt, and I snaked it up through the fender liner the same way. Okay, you can see that wire going up through the fender liner. Snaked it through the fender liner the same way. I did have to, just because there's a lot more happening up in the driver's side wheel well with cables and wires and wiring harnesses, I had to take off a bit more of the fender liner, a bit more pop clips in order to snake that through. But that one I also went down and into the side skirt basically. And let's go underneath. So you can see here that it goes out of the same hole on the driver's side skirt. It's going to mount just like that all the way down. And then if we come through here, we are going back into a similar hole on this side. And if we pull the fender liner back again, you'll see that cable going up through there. It goes all the way up and around. It's going up behind these pop clips, so you don't have to worry about it coming out. And then we've got some work to do over here as far as getting that mounted. Okay, just wanted to show you how I ended up wiring the piece under the rear bumper. So you can see the cable coming out through there. So that went around the fender liner just like I showed you. And then I kind of ran out of wiring, like it wasn't long enough. And so I had to just make it work with what I had. And so you can see basically what I did was I took the wire and actually removed this screw right here that I'm flashing the light on. And I removed this screw right over here. Those are for the heat shield. And I tucked the wire up and around the heat shield. That way it would not be directly in contact with the exhaust. I don't know if my theories on thermodynamics are accurate right now, but my thought is if it's on the opposite side of the heat shield, then it is going to be at less risk of melting from extreme exhaust temperatures. But if there are any thermodynamicists in the chat, feel free to weigh in. I think this will work. Maybe what I'll do is post a comment to the video in a few months and let you know if this rear LED strip, which I have not adhered yet, it's just floating, but if this rear LED strip is still functioning because of the extreme exhaust temperatures right below the wire for it. So next step is going to be to add a fuse. And so this is a little fuse. I got this from O'Reilly's, but you can get them at pretty much any auto store. And the Subaru uses a mini it's called add a circuit here, but it's a mini fuse. And so it's these little fuses here. And what I'm going to do is take this, and this is going to go to our power cable. So we're just going to crimp this onto our power cable here, the red one. So red to red. Here we go. And then we've got the black cable here, which will go to a ground. We'll probably just tap into this ground right here. That should work fine. And I looked at the fuse diagram for my fuse box, and I'm going to be using, at least this 15 amp fuse here is to the horn, and the horn is available whether or not the car is turned on or off. And I want these underglow lights to be available whether the car is on or off, so that if I'm parked somewhere, the car can be turned off and I can turn on the lights. And so that is the fuse for the horn, and so we'll be going ahead and replace that with the add a fuse. So I actually was not able to use the horn fuse. As you can see, the power cable is going over where the horn fuse is, but this power cable would have actually been obstructed by this empty area here. And so what I did was use the next fuse over, and on my fuse box, that is labeled lighting. And so I actually just tested it out, and the car is turned off. and the lights work. And I'm using the clicker here. So that is super exciting. Not a terribly difficult install. We're gonna go on ahead and wrap everything up here, get everything cleaned up a bit, finalize getting everything mounted, right? Of course, it's not mounted yet. I wanted to just test it out first. So we'll get everything mounted and then we'll come back with a demonstration. All right, you guys, moment of truth. We're gonna turn the lights off in the garage and turn the lights on my car and see how it looks after everything's been installed. Let's have a look. Hey. That's not bad. All right, now look, what I want to do is actually just walk you through some of the settings on the app here. All right, so I've got the Govee app pulled up. I already paired it to the Bluetooth. And right now we're just on the solid color mode. It might be kind of hard to see on the screen, but you can see that's highlighted. That's the solid color mode. If we go over to scene, check this out. All right, so we're gonna just click on a couple of these different scenes and see what, you know, the preset scenes look like. There we go. This one's called Romantic. This one's called Twinkle. That one's kind of just like flickering through the lights. Check this out. Hey! That one's called Rainbow. It's awesome. I like that. All right, we're gonna check crossing. So these are all that's awesome. Looks like a New Year's Eve party. I like that a lot. So these are pre-programmed scenes, but with the Govee Home app, there's actually a way that you can create your own kind of light patterns and scenes, and then you can save them, and then they'll pop up under the DIY section. So we're gonna go over here. Here, check this out. This is the microphone option. Hello. Hey. Testing. So it's picking up what's happening on my microphone, and you can even see the equalizer there. And as I'm talking, it's picking up the light effect. Now we're gonna go on ahead and play some music here. I've got the royalty-free playlist. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. Hey. Hey. All right, so that's the microphone effect. And of course you can change the colors here too, just by selecting the color wheel. Now these are pre-programmed colors. So we've got green. Here, let's actually turn off the mic and just go to solid color. So we've got, you know, all of the standard pre-programmed colors here. And this actually allows you to, so if you look closely here, you can see all of these checkboxes, and then I can deselect sections. And so everything is blue now. Now I only have half of the section selected. We're gonna change that to red. And you can see, here, let me go actually over here. Now half of the light bars are blue and half of them are red. And so with Govee, with these sections, you know, we're gonna go on ahead and do that. We're gonna make these ones yellow. So now we've got some blue, some yellow, some red. And so you gotta, that's cool. Looks kind of Jamaican, honestly, or maybe it's Italian. It's got that cool like green and red effect, either way. So you can play with these different light settings and really get it. So I'm gonna go on ahead and select all, flip back to this color pattern right here. And you've got the gradient here as well, where you can, you know, just kind of like scroll through and be very precise with the different colors you want. That's like bright white. Looks purple on the GoPro. I don't know what it's gonna look like on screen. But yeah, guys, this is really cool. We're gonna go all white. We're gonna go cold white. We're gonna go warm white. It's basically yellow. Yeah, I'm really, really into this. Really excited about this. We go back to crossing, rainbow, energetic, candlelight, snowflake, oh, that's cool. See, that's a cool one to have turned on if you're at like a meet or a show. Yeah, for $40, honestly, I am super happy with how these turned out. We can see that they're pretty bright. And even on the back here, I was a little worried about the back not being bright enough. Plenty bright. Yeah, stoked. Guys, let me know what you think of these in the comments below. Again, this is the Govee RGB Underglow kit. It is available on Amazon right now for $40. And really, really stoked, honestly, with how this turned out. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more great content like this in the future. Thanks you guys so much for stopping by. checking out the video. Have a great rest of your day.